Hey friend, Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review, and there was like a lot of stuff coming out this week and it was really hard to choose what I was going to babble about, but this is actually the first one that I popped in. I actually got it a day early, and I'm talking about Dirkschneider, being Udo Dirkschneider, the lead singer of Accept, redoing his former band's most popular album probably, Balls to the Wall. It's called Balls to the Wall Reloaded, and some of you may be wondering, why would we need this? Well, let me tell you why. Because it's not just a straight reworking of the album, it's mainly a duets album. It's every single song on here is a duet with somebody else, and that's what it is. So anyway, I really like Accept. I've got into them way back, 80s, metal was big. Although it was not, Balls to the Wall was not the album that did it for me. It was actually Russian Roulette. And I remember getting it on cassette. Don't remember where I got it exactly or how. It might have been one of those Columbia House things. Actually, I think it might have been one of those deals. But I just listened to that album over and over and over again. They have like this, Germany has a style of metal. It's like really harsh, almost militaristic type sounding stuff, and Accept really embodied that, I think. They had a certain style. You just hear the songs. Yeah, obviously Udo has his own vocal style. But musically, even especially the background vocals, it's a lot. It's kind of like gang vocals, but more to it than that. Like almost chanty type, militaristic type chant type stuff. I don't know. That's how I would describe it anyway. But musically, this album doesn't stray too far from the original recordings at all. In fact, there's only one song that like really extended itself a little bit. If I remember correctly, it was Turn Me On, but just a few seconds longer anyway. But as far as like musically, the production's good, it's strong, it has that same sound that the original had. It's a little bit more modern production, which obviously it's going to have, but I like the 80s sound myself. I like the earlier sound of the band, what they had. It doesn't really lose that too much here in the recording. It didn't change much. The solos are a little bit more flashy, but that's fine. The only thing I thought maybe they could have done with this, now I guess beggars can't be choosers, but maybe was have some guest guitarists on this album, but they didn't do that. But getting into the album itself, it starts out with Joachim Broden of Sabaton. I am terrible with names, so I really apologize if I screw these up, and I know that's probably not right, but I like Sabaton. They're a cool band, and they actually kind of fall into this style of music too, like that's what they sing about. Every album they sing about is a war, so perfectly fit with this. Although it's strange, and I noticed this right off the bat, that and it happened with several of the singers on this album, is that they try to, I don't know if they try to, but they sing kind of like they're imitating Udo instead of maybe singing in their own style, and he kind of did this right off the start. Not so sure that he fit this particular song, quite honestly. Excuse me, but it's it's a classic. It was fun to listen to, a new version of it. Didn't really do anything different, and his performance on this didn't really add anything to it, quite honestly. But London Leather Boys is what follows up with Biff Byford singing on that one. He does the same type of thing. In fact, it was the moments it was hard to distinguish who was who, but obviously Biff has a certain style of his own, and you could pick it out, but you kind of had to listen and pay attention to realize that they were switching back and forth several times throughout it to kind of distinguish who was who. But it's a good song. It's probably my least favorite on the whole album, quite honestly, but actually I like all the songs, but like that's probably the weakest one for me on this one. Fight It Back is the third track on here, featuring Millie Petroza of Creator. I'm not really a fan of this style of music. Creator, I believe, is also a German band, so it's fitting that he sang on here. That's harsher style of thrash. It's a little bit harsher than what I usually listen to. I know Creator, I guess, is considered a thrash band, even though I've really not gotten a lot of, actually I don't own any of their albums, honestly, but it fit pretty good in this song, and actually might go check out some Creator after listening to that, quite honestly, because I've really never paid any attention to them. So this is my introduction, I guess, so I'm thinking I might want to check out some Creator stuff. Just I actually don't know why. I've really never checked them out until now, but I actually enjoyed that one. So Head Over Heels is next on here, and this is finally when I've noticed a singer doing his own thing, and it's featuring Nils Mullen of Dynasty. I think he also sings for Amaranth, if I'm not mistaken. Amaranth, how you pronounce them. And I just got the new Dynasty album, but last week, and I still haven't listened to it yet. I did hear like a preview of it a few weeks ago, though, and I actually really enjoyed that. And his singing on here, he just does what he does, and that actually made this song a little bit more interesting. So 4 songs in, I'm finally hearing something that's actually something that's completely different from what the original was. He did it in his own style. I actually thought it was really good. The vocals mixed pretty well together. And then going from that right into Losing More Than You've Ever Had, which had Michael Kiske of Halloween on that one, who I really enjoy. Halloween, one of my favorite bands from back in that era, late 80s there. Keeper of Seven Keys is one of those albums I listened to over and over and over and over, and so it was kind of cool hearing him sing with Udo on here, and that was also cool, and I actually really enjoyed that one there. And taking a little bit of a turn on Love Child, we've got Ylva Eriksson of the band Brothers of Metal. I have one of their CDs, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a few different singers in Brothers of Metal. I actually really haven't listened much. I think I gave it 1 or 2 listens through, and I've really never gone back to that one. But it was cool hearing a female sing along with Udo on that one. They actually really blended well, and that was a cool track. I really enjoyed that one. Turn Me On, it's got Danko Jones on it, where it was really weird because Danko just sang a lot different than I've ever heard him sing. I've got several of his albums as well, and it just didn't sound like anything I'd ever heard him do before, but you could definitely tell who was who, but it did sound like he was trying to do like the Udo type style, although you could definitely still tell it was him singing. And then we go right into Losers and Winners with Dirkschneider. I had a really hard time telling who was who until D does some stuff towards the end in the background. He was definitely picking up some Udo vibes and taking on that style and his performance on here. Although the song is cool, I actually really like that song. And he did add a little bit of his flavor towards the end of the song with some stuff going on in the background. So it ended up being pretty cool, like just a little bit, just couldn't really distinguish who was who a couple different times there too, so, which is weird because D definitely has his own style of singing, so I thought that was a little odd, but still cool to listen to. And then Guardian of the Night, as soon as this kicked in, I knew that was Tim Ripper Owens. I didn't even have to tell me. He's definitely got his own sound, although it's kind of funny, he kind of like, when he does that higher pitched with the gravel in his voice, he kind of has a little bit of a Udo vibe to him anyway, but he's always done that. So hearing them sing together, especially when they're doing the harmonies and stuff, blended really cool because their tones are a little different. Tim's got this strange tone to his voice. He's always had it that's very unique to him, and it blended really cool, I thought, with what Udo was doing on this one. That's a good song, Guardian of the Night. Like, they're really all good songs. I just like this kind of music, so to me they were all cool. But the highlight of the whole album was actually the last song, Winter Dreams, with Doro Pesh on it. And I really like when Udo sings lower, like in his lower register. He's got this raspiness, airiness to his voice. Very moody. You can hear like emotion in his singing when he's singing that low, and I've always liked this song. He does other stuff where he sings lower like this too on other different albums, but this particular song is like one of my favorites that he does. And with Doro's on it as well, also singing in a lower register. I'm not a huge Doro fan. Honestly, I respect what she's done in her career and everything, but not a huge follower of hers. But hearing her do this with Udo, I thought was really cool, really blended well. My only gripe at all is that it fades out. I hate it when songs fade because it's just kind of like wasting music. I want to hear the whole thing. I want to hear everything that was done. I don't like hearing not hearing what was done, just wasting music. But anyway, overall, freaking dog barking in the background all of a sudden. Really enjoyed this listen, and I would recommend it if you're a fan of Udo or Accept. This is a cool listen, and it was worth it to me to get. So good start to the weekend, good start to the listens, and I can't wait to get to the rest. So if you guys have heard this, feel free to share your feelings on it as always, and like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because Udo's still putting stuff out. I mean, he's still kicking albums out, and I've really liked everything he's done. Some are better than others, but I've really always liked everything he's done, and this is no different. I actually really enjoyed this, so it was a fun listen. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you.